In the year 2002, Paris Hilton was still 1 year away from exploding onto the worldwide scene as the richest, prettiest, and most scandalous socialite the world had ever seen. However, that didn't mean she hadn't already started climbing up the social ladder and creating iconic moments that insolent girls and gays would fawn over for the rest of history. Her 21st birthday is definitely one for the books. In her own words, Paris had been feeling 21 ever since she was a teenager. She was certainly acting it too. After a childhood filled with strict conservative rules and an upbringing that included no dates, school dances, or any clothes that didn't make her look like a Stepford wife, Paris started to rebel around 15 and was subsequently sent to a number of correctional boarding schools such as Provo Canyon School, where she says that she was mentally and physically abused by the staff. By the time she was 18 and had dropped out of her last year in high school, she was already making a scene. After having modeled as a child at charity events, she signed with family friend Donald Trump's modeling agency T Management at age 19 and quickly became a high-in-demand model, appearing at New York Fashion Week, in American Vogue, and on the cover of many other high-fashion magazines. She also started being noticed in the New York socialite scene for her wild antics and scandalous outfits, shattering the image of the prim and proper socialite scene pre-2000s. A December 1999 profile for The New Yorker described Paris and her sister as at 16 and 18, Nikki and Paris Hilton are the littlest socialites in town. Thin, blonde, and well-born, their great-grandfather was Conrad Hilton. They moved from LA with their parents 3 years ago and are now out and about with the city's most entitled teens. Like Eloise, whose story the two said they read like 100 years ago, they live in a hotel, the Waldorf. Without even a smile, they can breeze past the velvet ropes at Moomba or get a seat at Le Bill Bouquet. Which is why, when it came to her 21st birthday, Paris really wanted to make her mark on the worldwide scene, as well as celebrate moving on from her abusive and stifling childhood. The birthday, well, it wasn't singular. There were actually 6 different parties in 6 different cities all across the world, all of which took several months to plan, and of course was all paid for by Mr. Hilton. She invited all of her friends and family on trips across the globe, as well as any celebrity that happened to be in a city where a party was taking place. It's been reported that apparently $75,000 was spent on each guest who attended the multi-day extravaganza, and when you think about all the plane tickets, hotels, entertainment and food that must have been bought, it makes sense. The first party was held at the Bellagio in Las Vegas, which I sadly couldn't find any pictures of. Here's her 22nd instead, but what I did find out was that this was one of her favorite spots which she used to illegally visit during her teen years, and her 21st birthday was the first time that she didn't need to use her fake ID. The second party, which was a much bigger publicized event, was held at the club room above Studio 54 in New York on the 12th of February, 5 days before Paris' actual birthday, and it was specially chosen by Paris as ever since her parents used to tell her stories of the golden days of Studio 54, where you could hang out with Andy Warhol, Liza Minnelli and Grace Jones all in one room, it had been her dream to hold a party there. The cake, which was actually 21 different cakes of different flavors and colors, was made by the legendary French restaurant Le Cirque, and her dress, which isn't as iconic as a certain other dress that you're probably thinking about, was designed by popular NYC club kid turned fashion designer Richie Rich, who owned the popular 2000 fashion brand Hedorette. Think Juicy Couture mixed with Moschino. The third party was held in Paris, because Paris for Paris, which I don't have any photos again for, so yay. The fourth party was held in Tokyo with thousands of Paris Hilton fans, but again, there are no photos. The fifth was held in LA, and there were actually 2 parties in the city. One of them was held at the GQ Lounge on the 1st of March, which included guests such as Tara Reid, Pink, and Topher Grace. The second one was held at Paris' own home on King's Road, and in Paris' own words, I don't want to be a cheeseball and name drop, but basically everyone in LA was there. It was definitely a legendary birthday party, but it was more intimate. The sixth and last party was on the 3rd of May, a month and 16 days after her real birthday, and was held at Stork Rooms, London. She wore 2 dresses that night. One was the sequin blue dress matched with a diamante choker and tiara, and the other was, of course, this iconic Swarovski crystal chainmail mini dress. Designed by British fashion designer Julian MacDonald, it was Paris's way of announcing her arrival on the world scene and finally leaving her strict conservative childhood as well as moving on from her abusive teen years. In Paris's own words, for my 21st birthday, I was like, I need to wear the most epic outfits ever. Before I moved to New York, I was a huge tomboy. I loved going to my ranch and going fishing. Then in New York, I just loved going to parties. It all started when David LaChapelle shot us for Vanity Fair, and that came out when we were teenagers and we were around age 17. I was wearing a lot of headerette because I'd done all their fashion shows. I became close with them through David LaChapelle. The dress has become an iconic look in pop culture, as well as many other Paris looks, and has been recreated time and time again by socialites and trendy birthday girls all across the world. As well as having an international month-long birthday paid for her by her dad, Paris also received a silver Porsche and many gifts such as jewelry, teddy bears, and flowers from fans across the world. Her opulent celebration and the iconic look associated with it will certainly go down as one of Hollywood's wildest nights. How much did your birthday party cost? Are you on heir to any sizable fortune? Let me know in the comments down below, like the video, and subscribe if you're new.
Last but literally never least, 2000s babes always look like they're having fun. And if you're not having fun, then just leave.
When you meet